大家好, hello everyone. My name is Weiwei and welcome to my channel. Life isn't all rainbows and butterflies, and today we're going to talk about a few common disappointing situations. And more importantly, we're also covering how to cheer somebody up in those situations. We're going to learn fun phrases like stir-fry squid and look for fragrant grass. If you want to know what they mean, stay with me. So romantic love can bring joy as well as heartache. So to say that you are lovesick, it's 我失恋了. 我失恋了. 我 means I or me. Here it means I. 失恋. 失恋 means to lose romantic love. 失 means to lose. 恋 means romantic love. 失恋. And 失恋 is used for situations when you're experiencing unrequited love. For example, if you get turned down by somebody that you like or you get friend-zoned, that counts as 失恋. It doesn't mean that you have to be in a relationship. Often you can use this phrase to describe when you want there to be a relationship, but the other person just doesn't feel the same way. 了 at the end is a particle to indicate change or past event. In this case, you can translate the whole sentence as I lost romantic love. 我失恋了. So for somebody that just broke up with their significant other, that's also a very traumatizing situation to find yourself in. 我跟我女朋友分手了. 我跟我女朋友分手了. 我 again means I or me. 跟我女朋友 means with my girlfriend. 跟 means with. 我 here is short for 我的. 我的 is the possessive pronoun, my or mine. Since 女朋友 girlfriend is a person, you can drop the 的, so 我女朋友 or 我的女朋友, they both work. And 女朋友 means girlfriend. It literally means female friend. Since 女 means female, 朋友 means friend. 女 can be a little challenging to say, so say it with me. 女. 女. So the U with the two dots on the top, that's different from the U by itself. The U by itself would be 乌. The U with the two dots would be übecause it's third tone. So it's 女. 女朋友 girlfriend. Boyfriend, on the other hand, is 男朋友. 男朋友 literally male friend. 分手了 means broke up. We already went over 了 as a particle to indicate past event. So 了 serves the same function here. 分手 means to break up in a relationship. 分 by itself means to separate. 手 means your hand or hands. So when two people separate their hands, that's a very graphic way of describing two people breaking up. 分手. So the whole thing is 我跟我女朋友分手了. I, with my girlfriend, broke up. So in Chinese, when you have with somebody, that's called an adverbial phrase. It acts like an adverb, and adverbs typically go before verbs in Chinese. 分手 is the verb here. That's why 跟我女朋友 has to go before 分手. So how would you say, I broke up with my boyfriend? So that's really easy. You just swap out 女朋友 for the word for boyfriend, 男朋友. 我跟我男朋友分手了. Now that's very sad. But to make it even worse is when you get dumped. I got dumped by my boyfriend. 我被我男朋友甩了. 我被我男朋友甩了. Hopefully none of you guys would ever have to say this. 我, again, I or me, 被我男朋友 means by my boyfriend. So we already know 男朋友 means boyfriend. 我男朋友 is short for 我的男朋友, my boyfriend. 被 is a grammatical particle and it's used to indicate passive voice. And I'll explain in a minute how 被 works. 甩了 means dumped. Again, 了 indicates past tense. 甩 means to toss aside, to dump. So, 我被我男朋友甩了. That means I got dumped by my boyfriend. So let's take a look at how 被 is used here. So as I said before, it's used to indicate passive voice. What I mean by passive voice is instead of saying somebody does something, you say something is being done. So for example, to be dumped, you are not the one that's actively doing the dumping. That's when passive voice comes in handy. The way we do it in Chinese is very easy. You have your subject, and then you have the word 被, the particle, and then the verb. That means that subject is verbed. So if you want to say, I got dumped, 我被甩了. In our example here, where you're specifying that you're dumped by your boyfriend, we can put a person right after 被 before the verb. And that would mean subject is verbed by that person. So in our example, I was dumped by my boyfriend. It's 我被我男朋友甩了. So 被 is followed by the person that did the action, which is 我男朋友, and then the verb here is 甩. I have another example here. If you wanted to say something like, the apple was eaten by her, the subject here is the apple. The apple was eaten. And the person that was doing the eating was she. So you would say, 苹果被她吃了. 吃 means to eat. So how would you say, I got dumped by my girlfriend? 我被我女朋友甩了. So all you have to change is instead of 男朋友, you would say 女朋友. So I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. Okay, so to comfort somebody that's unlucky in love, you could say something like 别太难过. 别太难过. This is also a super useful phrase that you can use in a variety of situations. Anytime you want to tell somebody, don't be too sad, don't be too upset, you can say that. 别太难过. So let's break it down. 别 means don't. 别 can put a verb or adjective right after to mean don't do that or don't be that. The reason why we can put either a verb or an adjective here is in Chinese, adjectives often function like verbs, and you don't usually need the word to be in there. You can just put the adjective directly after. So, how would you say, don't eat the apple? If you know the word to eat and the word for apple, this should be really easy. 别吃苹果. 吃 means to eat. 苹果 is apple. So, 别 is very easy to use. There's another way to say 别 in Chinese, don't, which is 不要. 不要 literally means to not want, and you can use it to mean to not want, but you could also use it to give a command to say don't do something, 不要. So, don't eat the apple with 不要 would be 不要吃苹果. 太 here means to. So you can put an adjective after to mean to adjective. For example, you would hear people say 太好了 as a reaction to some good news. 太好了 means great, awesome, and it literally means too good. 太好了. And here we have 太难过. 难过 means to be upset, to be sad. 难 by itself means difficult. 过 means to spend time. So it's hard to spend time. That means you're upset. 难过. So there's another word that's similar to 难过. 伤心. The meaning is more like heartbroken. 伤心. 伤 means to injure. 心 means your heart. So if your heart is injured, that's similar to being heartbroken. 伤心. So the whole thing is 别太难过. Don't be too upset. If you just want to say don't be upset, you can get rid of the 太 in the middle and just say 别难过. don't be upset. You could also say 不要太难过 or 不要难过. And instead of 难过 at the end, you can also use 伤心 if you want to tell somebody don't be too heartbroken. 别太伤心 or 不要太伤心. So there's quite a few different ways that you can express this. Don't be too upset. 别太难过. Now here's another phrase that you can use in a variety of situations. 没什么大不了. 没什么大不了. 没 is short for 没有. You might know 有 means to have or to exist. 没有 is the negation of 有, which means to not have, to not exist. 没 is the casual way of expressing 没有. 什么 means what. 什么. 大不了 is a phrase. It means big deal. 大不了. 大 by itself means big. So this whole thing is kind of a fixed phrase. It's not a big deal. 没什么大不了. 没什么大不了. Or you could also say 没有什么大不了. Here's another way that you can express pretty much the same meaning. 没事. So 事 means things to do or matter. 没事 means no matter, nothing that matters. Nothing is the matter. So 没事 or 没什么大不了, it's not a big deal. So we just went over some generic phrases to cheer up people in all kinds of sad situations. But this is more to comfort somebody that's unlucky in love. 天涯何处无芳草. 天涯何处无芳草. Now this is actually in classical Chinese because it's a line from a poem called 蝶恋花, Butterflies Love Flowers, by a famous poet, Su Shi, from the Song Dynasty. Now let's break down this phrase. 天涯, 天涯 means the edge of the sky. 何处 means what place. 何 means what. 处 means place. 无 is the classical way to say to not have. The contemporary phrase would be 没有. 芳草. 芳 means fragrant. 草 means grass. 芳草, fragrant grass. So the whole thing is 天涯何处无芳草, which translates into something like, where in this world can you not find fragrant grass? Which is a rhetorical question because it's actually saying you can find fragrant grass everywhere. And even though this verse is originally used to describe the poet's feelings about nature, now people have borrowed it to mean there are good options for dating everywhere. Don't be hung up on that one person. 芳草 is kind of a metaphor for a good dating option. 天涯何处无芳草. So it's a cool phrase to know, and it comes in handy when you need to comfort somebody that's lovesick. Now, if you're the practical sort and you happen to know somebody that might be a good choice for your friend, you can say something like this. 我给你介绍我的朋友吧. 我给你介绍我的朋友吧. Let me introduce you to my friend. 我给你. So 我 means I. 给 could mean to give or for or to. Here it means to. 你 means you. So I to you. 介绍 means to introduce or introduction. 介绍. 我的朋友, my friend. That's the complete way of saying my friend. You can also shorten it to 我朋友. 吧 is a grammatical particle, and we place it at the end of a sentence to make it into a suggestion. So it softens the tone and makes it not a command. So the whole thing is 我给你介绍我的朋友吧. So I to you introduce my friend, and that's a suggestion. Let me introduce you to my friend, or why don't I introduce you to my friend? Even if you have a very good person in mind, you might want to be careful using this phrase in case the person isn't ready to move on yet. Okay, so before we move on to the next phrase, if you find this content useful, please like and subscribe. For further ways to support me, check out the description box. 谢谢你, thank you so much. Another sad situation one might find themselves in is to get fired. 我被开除了。我被开除了。我, again for I or me, 被开除 means to be fired. We already know 被 means the passive voice because you are not the one firing anybody, you are being fired. So 被开除 means to dismiss somebody from work, to fire somebody. There's a fun colloquial way of saying to fire. Instead of 开除, you could also say 炒鱿鱼. 炒 means to stir fry. You might know the phrase 炒饭, fried rice. 炒面, fried noodles. 鱿鱼 means squid. So 炒鱿鱼, literally stir-fried squid, or to stir-fry squid, it means to fire somebody. When you say, I got fired, instead of 我被开除了, you could also say, 我被炒鱿鱼了. And it's just more colloquial that way. You could also say to stir-fry somebody's squid, and that means somebody is getting fired. For example, 老板要炒他的鱿鱼. 老板 means boss. 要 means to want to. 炒 stir fry. 他的 his 鱿鱼 squid. Literally, the boss wants to stir fry his squid. That means the boss wants to fire him. So how would you say, don't fire me? Now you can either use 开除 or 炒鱿鱼. You could say, 别开除我. Remember 别 for don't, 别开除我 or 别炒我的鱿鱼. Since you can't just put a person after 鱿鱼, you have to say don't stir fry my squid to mean don't fire me. 别炒我的鱿鱼. And then we have a 了 at the end, again to indicate past event. So again, the whole phrase is 我被开除了. Now, if you got laid off, you could say 我下岗了. 我下岗了. 我, again for I or me, 下岗 means to leave one's position, to be laid off. 下 by itself could mean the direction under, beneath, but you can also use it as a verb to mean get off. 岗 means somebody's work position. And we have a few other phrases where 下 also means to get off. 下班 means to get off work. 下班. 下课. 课 means class, so it means to get out of class, to finish class. 下课. So there's another way to say to lose one's job, to get laid off, which is 失业. 失业 literally means to lose one's job, because 失 means to lose, 业 means a job or a career. 失业. So we've seen 失 before in 失恋, to lose romantic love. So 失 means to lose. And 了 again is used to indicate past events. So the whole thing is 我下岗了, I got laid off. Or you could say 我失业了. Now to comfort somebody that got laid off or fired, you could use the previous generic phrases that we've learned, such as 别太难过, don't be too upset. 没什么大不了, not a big deal. You could also say something like, there are many good opportunities out there. 外面有很多好机会. 外面有很多好机会. 外面 means outside. 外面. The opposite of 外面 is 里面, inside. 有 means to have or to exist. Here it means for there to be. 很多 means many, a lot of. 很多 The opposite of 很多 is 很少. Very few, very little in quantity. 很少. 好机会 means good opportunity. 机会 means opportunity. 好 means good. So the whole thing is 外面有很多好机会. Literally, outside, there are many good opportunities. And if you're the practical sort and you happen to know somebody that's hiring, you could say something like this. 我知道一家公司在招聘。我知道一家公司在招聘。我知道 means I know. 知道 is a super useful phrase to know. It means to know. 知道. How would you say, I don't know? 我不知道. 不 is how we commonly negate verbs in Chinese. 我不知道。一家公司。一家公司 means a company, one company. You might know 家 to mean family or home, such as 我家 my home, my family. But it could also be used as a measure word for businesses, which in this case, it's measuring companies, one company. 一家公司。公司 is a company. Now you can also use 家 for other businesses, such as a restaurant. 一家饭店。饭店 means restaurant. 在招聘。在招聘 means to be hiring. 招聘 means to hire. 招聘。在 plus a verb means be verbing. So 在招聘 means the hiring is taking place currently. So the whole thing is 我知道一家公司在招聘. I know a company is hiring. Now hopefully that will help cheer up your friend who has just lost their job. Now if you're a student, you might have experienced those disappointing moments after a test when you didn't do so well. 我考试成绩不好。我考试成绩不好。我 again for I or me. 考试 means to test or the noun form of test. 考试。So for example, if you want to say a Chinese test, 中文考试。A math test, 数学考试。Now you can also use 考 by itself to mean to test. For example, let me test you, I will test you, 我考你。成绩不好 literally means great, not good. 成绩 means grade or score. 成绩。不好 not good. So notice how we don't need a to be here. You don't have to say it's not good. You can just use 不好 as a verb. So 成绩不好. How would you say grade is good? 成绩好, or you could say 成绩很好. And if you really didn't do well on the test and you didn't pass it, 不及格。不及格 to not pass. So how would you say to pass? 及格. So the whole thing is 我考试成绩不好。I test grade not good. It doesn't sound grammatical in English, but in Chinese, it's perfectly fine. So that's how you say, I didn't do well on a test. How would you say, I didn't pass a test? 我考试不及格。I passed the test. 我考试及格. Or you can put a le after to indicate that it has happened. 我考试及格了。To cheer up somebody that did badly on a test, you could say something like, 下次再接再厉。下次再接再厉。 下次 means next time. 下, as we've seen before, could mean below, and 次 means time, as in this time, next time, last time, not as in do you have time, because that's 时间. The way we say this time is 这次, 这 means this. The way we say last time is 上次. 上 is the opposite of 下. 上 means above. So if beneath time is next time, then above time is last time. 上次. 再接再厉. 再接再厉 means to keep making an effort. It's one of those 4-character phrases that we call 成语 in Chinese. A lot of these 成语 idioms have stories behind them, and I actually have a book of 20 of the most interesting 成语 stories. If you want to check it out, the link is in the description. 再接再厉 was actually originally describing cockfights. The roosters would keep making an effort by sharpening their beaks before they fight. But nowadays, we use it to mean to keep trying, to keep making an effort. 再接再厉. 再 by itself means again. We've seen it in 再见, literally again see, but it means goodbye. So try harder next time or keep trying. 下次再接再厉. Again, if you're the practical sort and you happen to be good at taking tests, you can offer to help them review. 要不要我帮你复习? 要不要我帮你复习? 要不要 means literally to want, not want. So this is a way to make a yes or no question in Mandarin Chinese, where you have a verb and then you repeat the verb, but in the negative form. So in this case, 要不要? And the other way to make a yes or no question is to simply make a statement and put a ma at the end. 我 means I or me. Here it means me. 帮你. 帮 means to help. 帮你 means to help you. How would you say help me? 帮我. 复习 means to review. 复习. So the whole thing is 要不要我帮你复习? Literally, want or not want me to help you review. So you might have noticed that there's no do you want here because it's implied in the sentence. But you could also spell it out by saying 你要不要我帮你复习? And also 要不要 is one way to make a yes or no question. You could also rephrase the sentence 要我帮你复习吗? So you make a statement and then you put a ma at the end. That's another way to form a yes or no question. So hopefully these phrases will help you cheer up a sad friend. Now let's have a quiz to see how much you've remembered. So how would you say don't be too upset? 别太难过. You could also say 不要太难过 or 别太伤心 or 不要太伤心. How would you say there are many good opportunities out there? Now this one is a little harder. 外面有很多好机会. 外面 means outside. 有 to exist, to have. 很多 many. 好机会 good opportunities. How would you say keep trying next time? 下次再接再厉. 下次 means next time. 再接再厉 means to keep making an effort. So did you get them all right? I hope you found this video helpful. 谢谢你. Thank you so much for watching. 再见. I'll see you in our next video.